When we're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, our thoughts may become repetitive, self-critical, or focused on negativity. In the following session, we're going to spend some time relaxing the body with some controlled breathing, and then we're going to observe our thoughts, letting them go or letting them be. I invite you to find a comfortable position now. You might choose to sit with your back supported, or you might want to lie down, allowing the surface beneath you to hold your body completely so you can fully let go. If it feels comfortable, you can gently close the eyes, or you can leave them open with a soft gaze. And let's take a moment now to notice the sensations of the body resting here. How does it feel to allow ourselves to pause, to settle? Okay, let's begin. I invite you now to bring awareness to the breath, noticing the inhale and noticing the exhale. Without trying to change anything about the breath, we're simply noticing how the body is naturally breathing. Now we might notice an urge to direct the breath or to control the breath in some way, and that's completely normal. For now, seeing if we can simply allow the breath to flow exactly as it is, allowing it to move freely, moment by moment. How is the body breathing right now? Is it slow or rapid? Deep or shallow? Maybe we're breathing into the chest or perhaps into the stomach. Is the inhale longer than the exhale, or is the exhale longer than the inhale? There's no need to change anything. We're just noticing the breath as it is. Now we're not so much watching the breath as we're experiencing it, feeling what it's like to breathe. Maybe we can feel the cool air entering the nostrils as we breathe in, noticing the lungs, the chest, the stomach expanding. And then as the breath changes direction, we might notice the body softening, relaxing, gently releasing. We're letting go of tension, letting go of any resistance. And if the mind begins to wander, or if any restlessness arises in the body, that's completely normal. Whenever we realize that we're lost in thought or distraction, we simply bring our awareness back to the breath, back to that next inhale, back to that next exhale. Let's take a moment to explore the mind. Thinking, planning, remembering, and imagining. This is what the mind is designed to do, and sometimes it can feel like a constant flow of chatter. Now, when we're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, these thoughts may become repetitive, self-critical, or focused on negativity. So for this part of the practice, I invite you to observe your thoughts, not to stop or change them, but simply to notice them as they arise and pass, moment by moment. And it's also possible that your mind feels quiet right now, free of activity. And if that's your experience, there's nothing you need to do. Simply enjoy the stillness of the mind, resting in that sense of peace, and allow my words to blend into the background. Okay, let's bring our awareness to the activity of the mind. We might notice thoughts popping up, maybe worries about the future, memories from the past, or even random, unrelated thoughts. Whatever we find, let's see if we can allow it to simply be there, without judgment, as if we're watching from a distance. There's no need to get caught up in the story of the thought. No need to follow where it leads. Instead, we're simply noticing it. And some of us find it helpful to imagine our thoughts as clouds in the sky, drifting in and out of view. Some of those clouds are light and fluffy, while others might feel darker or heavier. But all clouds eventually move on, carried by the wind. Each time we notice a thought arise, seeing if we can acknowledge that thought gently. We might even silently say to ourselves, "Here's a thought," and then watch it as it drifts away like a passing cloud. And if our mind is quiet, we might imagine a clear blue sky stretching endlessly overhead, open and expansive. Resting here in this sense of ease and spaciousness. If it feels helpful, we can also use the breath to help create space between us and our thoughts. As we inhale, we might imagine drawing in a sense of calm and spaciousness. And as we exhale, we might picture that thought being carried away. breathing in calm, and as we exhale, letting go of that thought. And if the same thought keeps coming back, that's okay. Each time we're giving ourselves another chance to gently notice the thought and let it go. Now we may find that some thoughts feel more persistent or sticky. Thoughts that keep pulling our attention back or seeming harder to release. If that happens, it's perfectly normal. But instead of resisting these thoughts, seeing if we can simply allow them to be there. We might imagine holding the thoughts lightly, as if they're resting in the palm of our hand. There's no need to push them away. Just noticing that they're there and reminding ourselves that they don't define us. Coming and going without needing to be acted upon. And if we find that we've gotten lost in our thoughts, that's okay too. Whenever we notice the mind has wandered, we gently guide it back with kindness and patience. Back to the breath, back to the body, back to this moment. And now taking a moment to notice how the mind feels after observing our thoughts. Maybe it feels quieter or lighter, or maybe it still feels busy, and that's okay too. For the next minute or so, I invite you to gently lengthen your out-breath, making sure that the exhalation is longer than the inhalation. A simple way to do this is to count the breath. For instance, we might breathe in for a count of 3 and breathe out for a count of 6. Let's try it together for a couple of rounds and then I'll let you do some on your own, at your own pace. Breathing in, 2, 3, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, breathing in, 2, 3, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it's up to you what you count to, whatever feels comfortable. There's no need to be precise. And if counting feels unnatural, you can simply focus on making the exhale a little longer than the inhale. Imagining that with each out-breath, you're releasing a little more tension, a little more stress, a little more negativity. Let me be quiet for a few moments so you can take a few breaths on your own. And as we continue to breathe, let's notice how the body's responding. Is there any sense of heaviness easing? Any tension softening? Are the forehead and the jaw relaxed? Are the neck and the shoulders soft? Is the stomach at ease? Maybe we can notice the body beginning to release, letting go of stress, negativity, or any weight we've been carrying. Breath by breath. And now, whenever we're ready, allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. And noticing how the body's breathing now. Is the breath softer? Slower maybe? We're just noticing. With each out-breath, we might imagine releasing more of what no longer serves us. Letting go of tension, letting go of negativity, letting go of anything we don't need to carry in this moment. If we notice the mind wandering, perhaps to the past, to worries about the future, or even to everyday thoughts and to-do lists, that's perfectly normal. The mind tends to drift, especially when we're holding stress or negativity. This is simply the mind's way of trying to process or fix things. But often, this kind of thinking can add to the weight we're carrying. So as soon as we notice that our mind has wandered, gently guiding our attention back to the breath. There's no need to judge ourselves or feel frustrated. Instead, we can see this as an act of kindness. Gently, patiently, bringing our focus back to this moment. Back to that next inhale, and back to that next exhale. Breathing in calm, breathing out negativity. Breathing in ease, breathing out tension. Softening a little more, releasing a little more. And as this practice comes to an end, knowing that you can come back here anytime, this place of relaxation and release. Letting go isn't always easy, and sometimes it doesn't happen all at once. It's a practice of returning to ourselves, moment by moment, and releasing what no longer serves us. Keeping the eyes closed, I invite you to notice what feels different in the body and the mind. Maybe there's a feeling of calm or lightness, maybe a sense of quiet spaciousness in the mind. Or maybe things feel the same as they did before, and that's okay too. Whatever it is that we're experiencing, it's a reflection of this moment, and that's enough. Let's begin to bring small movements back into the body. Perhaps we can wiggle our fingers and toes, or gently roll the shoulders. We might like to stretch the arms or legs, or simply take a deep breath in and out to reawaken the body. And whenever we're ready, gently opening the eyes, slowly allowing the light back in, and taking a moment to notice the room around us. If you enjoyed this meditation, it's available for download on my website, chibsmeditations.com, and the link is in the description below. Congratulate yourself for taking time out to care for your mind and body today. I hope this sense of lightness and freedom you've cultivated here stays with you as you move through the rest of your day.